Bienvenidos. Soy la Bruja Espinada, and I am here with your special new moon in Capricorn reading. So let's get started. I had to double check. I could be wrong, so I will not refer to. Well, actually, we're entering Capricorn season, right? We're in Capricorn season, I believe. I'm not going to make an assumption. I'm not going to make any more assumptions. I've been really busy this weekend, so I have not had a chance to look into where our lunar placement is at, but I will link and title it in this video title. So we're out of Mercury retrograde, preparing to get back into it, and already my communication is shot. So anywho, we're in Capricorn season, and we're at a new moon. I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are ready. Just, last week we had our winter solstice reading, and we are in the thick of it. We are now kicking off into a new year just in a few days. And so let us see what the universe has for us. And just like in our previous readings, we have the Nine of Swords. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just reminiscing a lot of things. It tends to happen when we, it's the winter season. This is what seasonal depression typically is due to because of family coming together, family, friends, all these social events that start sparking up a lot of difficult conversations, memories, things like that. Situations that we probably don't want to deal with, people that we typically don't want to deal with. So there's a lot of heavy feelings at this time, a lot of things that we struggle communicating about. And in this instance, it may have to do with how, in regards to betterment, it may be in regards to what you are leveling up with, as we have the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. Following that, we do have the High Priestess. There's a lot of transition here. That's a good thing. There's nothing bad about it, okay? We also have the Seven of Pentacles. I made a reference to this card a lot in the past two readings. We have the Five of Wands, the Page of Cups, the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Wands, quite a few nines here. The Two of Wands, a lot of heavy wand energy, a lot of cup energy. Here's the Three of Pentacles. We have the Six of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. We're going to close this out with the Queen of Wands. I do have some cards here that I might continue to pull if we need any further clarification. So, continuing on, the Nine of Swords, a lot of things that haven't been said, a lot of things that need to be said, a lot of things that we want to say but don't want to say at the same time because we're afraid of hurting someone's feelings. Swords is a lot. This could be resentment, this could be worry, this could be frustration. This is just the highlight of what you're feeling at this time, which is a great thing to address, especially during a new moon. Remember, new moon has a lot to do with the setting intentions for what you want to manifest as the full moon follows this, which is really great considering that you're starting off with the new moon at the start of the new Gregorian calendar. So perfect time to set your intentions if you have not done or set any resolutions. Not that you have to do resolutions, it's just because it's traditionally done in the Western world using the Gregorian calendar as a marker. That's one of the things that you can apply at this point. Just take that into consideration, that there might be a lot of heavy feelings at this time, a lot of things that you have had on your mind, have been weighing on your heart. Clearly, there's a lot of contemplation here. Again, it could be feelings of worry, feelings of resentment, feelings of burden. Whatever these heavy feelings that are not being communicated, it could be in regards to the level that you want to achieve moving forward. You want to reach this ultimate level of being the Emperor. this level of hierarchy that you've set up for yourself. You're trying to ascertain this. And the high priestess is just that reminder that you are that bitch. You have that ability. You have that power within you to set these intentions and to make them manifest the way that you want them to. This is just serving as a reminder. Following your wanting of reaching these heights, I'm going to put a pause really quick because a message came through. This could also be that when you are communicating with people that you haven't spoken to in the past, one of the things that could be coming up is that, you know, you may have had a stall, or there may have been some obstacles in your leveling up, or it could also be that, hey, you've reached that level and yet you're questioning whether or not you're happy in this position. There are multiple perspectives that this can take on, but those are the two that are standing out for me. Either it could be that someone keeps bringing up, hey, you know, have you finished that project you were working on? Or did you get that job that you were applying for? Did you finish that, you know, degree that you wanted to do, blah, 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 blah. Or it's like, hey, are things working out well? Do you love it? Whatever is coming up in regards to this goal you have set for yourself, don't feel pressured. That could be another feeling of duress that you have not yet achieved this goal that you shared with others. Just move in the shadows. Move in the shadows. It relieves a lot more stress. Not saying that you shouldn't talk about it, but just, I had a conversation with a friend today, and one of the things that we agreed on is talk to people that share the same thought processes that you do. Not saying that you should have someone that sees the same perspective that you do, but more or less understands your thought process and what's going to be better for you. Because some people come in at you with a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of self-serving in that sense, whereas it doesn't benefit you, and it could not benefit you either physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Just, you know, whenever you feel like you have to speak to someone that understands your way of thinking, is what I'm saying. So that, you know, they were like, yeah, I get why you feel that way. I get why, you know, you put a pause in this. I get why. I don't know if you heard that sound in the background. My neighbors are starting the party early, I guess. But anywho, that being said, you know, you have that power, you have that ability to manifest what you set your attentions towards. But don't feel like you have to be pressured, because following that, we have the Seven of Pentacles. This is a card that I believe I manifested into this reading because I kept bringing it up. The Seven of Pentacles is a reminder that when you plant your seeds, you have to let them grow, right? That's not saying that you don't tend to them, but you can stand there to try watching them grow, and they're not going to grow as you watch them. You just get more frustrated. That just puts more pressure on yourself that you don't need. Just water them as much as you need to. Do keep an eye out if things are, you know, rotting, things are a little bit drier than they should be. You know, the way that you tend to, just like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with keeping an eye on it, but don't stare at it obsessively, waiting for it to grow. It's going to take up way too much of your time. Now, we have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is in reference to struggle. There's some struggle here, as you see. These wands are on fire. Wands do signify fire. They signify passion. But this, when it comes to the fives, there is some head-to-head, whether it's you're in competition with someone, both fighting for a job or a raise, whether it's trying to get a point across with family in regards to trying to make a point of something or to clarify something. This is just a little bit of a headbutting situation. And when people are passionate about things, that tends to happen. So it could be in regards to just about anything. But it's really interesting because we have the Seven of Pentacles, we have the Five of Wands, and then we have the Page of Cups. where we are learning to work with our emotions here. So just be aware that, yes, or you may already be aware that during these holiday seasons, a lot of conversations and topics may have come up that have struck a chord or have caused an increase of agitation or anxiety that you're have been working very hard to overcome, which may be why you're feeling like this. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Again, it is a learning experience, because next to the page we have the Nine of Cups. This is what we work so hard to strive for, right? This is these 2 and 2 go in hand, as well as the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. These are really good signifiers here. And the Nine of Cups is just emotional fulfillment. This is a love we see back in the background. There's the rainbow, there's um these lilies that are floating in the water, and usually lilies are that reminder of, through all the bullshit, through all this crappy muddy gunkiness that is this water, beauty grows from it. There is fulfillment, there is positivity and beauty that do come out of struggle and just ugly situations. It isn't without some type of beauty. That balance of light and dark, dark and light, right? With the Nine of Cups, we do have the Knight of Wands. Again, the Knight of Wands, this is typically we see this with the Nine of Swords as some type of burden, some type of difficulty. The way that it's depicted here is not necessarily a bad thing, but this is an indicator that there is progression. There has been progression. There has been change through difficulties towards something better, right? And it's coming to a close. It's reaching that conclusion, especially when it comes to feelings of determination. You're not giving up, essentially. Like, yes, you've been able to sustain the burden for so long. It's no longer becoming too much of an issue. You are reinventing this situation for yourself. And it's successful because we do have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is collaboration. So there are better things coming forward. And again, we are met with the Six of Cups. That Six of Cups is the indicator that there is, as you see here, it's raining. These two are dancing in a puddle. They're accepting the issue for what it is. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, that's not saying you have to accept it is what it is. It is, you're making something better of the situation. You're seeing a different perspective. Because a lot of the times, people will say, like, I'm someone who doesn't like rain personally, but a lot of people love rain. They're like, oh, I love the rain. I love splashing around and oh, it feels so great. That's this. That feeling is this. This is someone who makes better of this, makes light of the situation, right? They're enjoying the rain. They are, and they're together. They realize, as long as we're together in this will be great. This will be fun, right? These are good indicators despite difficult situations. The Three of Pentacles, that collaboration, having that support, having that strength, and looking at the bigger picture. Then we're followed with the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles, if you've had we have quite a few pentacles here, but the Six of Pentacles here is just an indicator. It's a reminder. So remember, actually talk about this card as well a few times. So the Six of Pentacles comes after the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles, as a reminder, in the Rider-Waite deck is someone, actually, we have the Five of Pentacles in the solstice reading, where it's the little matchstick girl who's outside of a church trying to keep herself warm with the last match that she has. And ideally, it's the not giving up too soon concept. It's like, just a little, if she would have continued walking, she would have actually found the front doors of this sanctuary that could have kept her warm, right? And when the Six of Pentacles comes out, as you see here, there is some growth here, but this is just that reminder about investment, how investment is important. And so whether it's emotional investment, monetary investment, physical investment, there's so many different types of materials, resources out there, right? So this is just an investment. When you give, you will receive. It's a cycle that has to continue, right? And so that's what this is a reminder of. This is what it's referring to. When you have the Six of Pentacles, the idea is, right, if you want something, you must give something. So exactly like you want someone to make something for you, you exchange that with some type of monetary exchange, or it could be, hey, if you make this for me, I will do this for you. So I don't know, for example, you could say like, hey, you know what, I sing in a band, or I give I'm trying to think of like a good exchange. So let's say like I can gift you a performance if you can do this for me. Like it could be like a bartering system, essentially. The point is, it's energy for energy. So the Six of Pentacles is just that reminder that in order to receive, you must give. And for them to give, you must receive. So it's just that reminder of that cycle that any type of exchange or barter system is due to energy exchange. It's just that reminder. I feel like I have to explain this several different times because a lot of the times the explanations I come up with, images come up when it comes to my explanations, so I just go with what's given to me. Anywho, so moving forward, then we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is a decision, right? It's a choice. In order to move forward, there's always choices presented to you. That's not necessarily say that you have to give one thing up when you choose one, but it's more like, what do you want to start with first? What's the most important thing to start with first? So here, for example, there is an individual holding a lit stick, and then you see that they're, in the other hand, they are holding the earth, or an orb that looks like the earth. And so the idea here is, what is more, what are you going to invest in more at this point? And it's a decision that you have to do. What's more important that needs to be done right now, right? And so that's kind of one of the things that you have to really take a step back and look at. And that might be another reason why you're in this situation. It could be just about anything. However, we are followed with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is someone who, as you see here at the bottom of her feet, there are two growing sunflowers, and she is snuggling a cat. Now, this queen is someone who has learned to master their determination, has learned how to use it to their advantage, and they're holding this cat. Now, only reason why I'm pointing out the cat is because following this, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Strength card. The Strength card here is someone who has embraced their strength. They're no longer afraid of their capabilities, and they have come to understand how strong they can be, and how they've come to understand how to best use their strength, right? And so, like I stated here with the Queen of Wands, someone who has learned to harness their determination, someone who has come to terms with their abilities and have embraced it fully, right? So these two do definitely go hand in hand. This is a good thing. That follows that, we have the Ace of Cups. A brand new feeling that must be conquered. And again, at the base of this cup, we have lilies. And here is a lily bloom. So it's just understanding how, and realistically, a lot of the times we have been told that we are the problem. And sometimes that's not even the case. It's just that we have not been able to succumb to anybody else's issues, and we don't want to resolve it for them. And that's a new feeling to have to master, a new feeling to overcome. So, embracing your abilities and your strength, your determination, your dedication, the things that you are truly passionate about, takes a lot of strength, because you have to take a step back from catering to others in that sense. But in order to achieve an absolutely different level, you can't grow other people's seeds, and you can't, let them grow yours. It's up to you to grow those. And you have to be reminiscent of your abilities to do so. And there's just very simple reminders, the choice is yours. And you must invest in yourself in order to really look at the bigger picture. The Six of Cups is also a card of reminiscing. It's there's nothing wrong with reminiscing, remembering the good times, amidst the darkness, like looking at the silver lining of those situations in the past. The whole point of this card is just not to dwell on them too long. It's not healthy to live in the past. It's good to revisit it. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're learning a lesson for yourself, and the things that you want. There's nothing wrong with remembering that. It's just don't stay there too long. You don't live in the past. You live in the now. And be open to collaborating. So, with that in mind, Mighty Fates, what additional messages do you have for this reading? What lesson should we keep open to learning? One card, please, if you will. What lesson do you have in regards to... Way too many, please. Just one. What lesson do you have for us? So yeah, it's just there's a lot, I don't want to say there's a lot of complex feelings. I don't feel like the feelings are necessarily complex in that sense. It's just that it's very interesting to see three very prominent elements in regards to resources, emotions, and passion. And not passion, but also like dedication, determination, all these feelings. Mighty Fates, do you not have anything for us? Guess we do. Okay. Versatility. Very interesting card. Versatility actually makes a lot of sense that we have this one in regards to the reading we just had. Versatility. So, with versatility, pulling this card may indicate a time where you are coming up against a lot of resistance. Whether internally or externally, a lot of times we focus on one thing very intensely and push hard despite being sure that the timing is off. What can be helpful in those situations is to move on to other things so that the energy is freed up so you can go back to it when the timing is right. This card teaches us to be flexible and go along with what is being presented to us, even if it may not be what we want. Rather than trying to force things that are not ready, it may also indicate a need for approaching the situation differently. If you don't feel it is about stepping back, examine how you can shift what is already there. So, Similarly, like this is like explained in this card, it makes reference to a lot of these things. You can't force something to grow faster. You can't force something to grow healthier. While you do have the ability and capabilities of manifesting different things, you have to um, you have to make sure that you're just not sitting there waiting for something to happen. And likewise, you're not just sitting there thinking about the past, right? This is in moving. This is about moving in present form. These are just like new things you have to learn every single time, right? It's like what it says here. It might be time to kind of take a step back and really analyze things from a different perspective. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you're feeling overwhelmed at this point, it may be time to switch it up a bit in order for things to really play to what it is that you're wanting. Not a bad thing. Definitely not a bad thing. Animal spirit guides. Is there anything that you would like to add to this message? But yeah, so we have the dolphin spirit. This and that are true. I can't make this shit up, guys. This is really going to play and reinforce the versatility message, I assure you. So, without further ado, let's get into the dolphin spirit. I tell you, I don't make this shit up. You see me do this as it's being recorded. So, here we go. Dolphin spirit. This and that are true. So that, remember, it's looking, you might need to look at a different perspective. I think that's really highlighting that with this card. So let's get into it. Dolphin spirit, like her earthly manifestation, is a reminder of duality. As the dolphin is both mammal and sea creature, so too is dolphin spirit, both. This and that. Two truths coexist. The story you tell and another as well. The duality of life is present when we are suffering, for there is a blessing too in the helpers that appear. Within clouds are silver linings when we later reflect on what happened. We can see that a situation was both this and that, and a choice led to both joy and sorrow. No relationship is either all good or all bad, and people have qualities of both light and shadow. Focus on the positive, for light exists alongside the darkness. Dolphin spirit calls for you to come from up below and enjoy a weightless moment in the sun as you dive and even enjoying the duality of life. Why not join dolphin spirit in acknowledging and affirming the blessings present in this moment? In all areas of your life, there are aspects of both this and that. Today, you can celebrate this fact and recognize the complexity and the beauty of the fabric of the universe. You are at a place right now where your past self is still present. As you move toward the new self you are becoming, aspects of both selves are present. So you see here, this stressor right here, followed by the Emperor. Aspects of both selves are present. So even if you say goodbye to what was, you are required to find solace in this between time. That's here. And that's why this is here. And why this is here. Today is not a day to choose one over another either, but rather to accept things as they are without judgment or resistance. We listen and we don't judge. Even in matters of the heart, duality is present. Your next action will be obvious when you drop your bias and see things as a whole. When you most want to be acknowledged as right and see other ways as wrong, Dolphin Spirit appears as a reminder that the story of your suffering and righteousness is a little more complicated than you are admitting right now. Do you want to see things in black and white and be rigid in your right ideas of what's correct and what is not? Release your rigidity and embrace the fluidity of life as you recognize the grays that remind you there are two sides to every story, an upside to each downside, and a blessing in every challenge. What you think is wrong may end up being right for you. So let Dolphin Spirit soften your heart so that you can make the best decision at this time, playing with the possibilities that present themselves. So yeah, that is Dolphin Spirit. It makes a lot more sense. There's just like a lot of, it felt like there was a lot of like back and forth. It's just why when things seemed heavy, there's just those reminders, it's like, hey, you're here trying to reach this, but don't forget who you are. And yes, work hard, but don't just stare at the pot of water trying to boil itself, right? And yeah, the situation might suck, but you're just learning. There's a lot of like reminders, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's why we're here. That's why you come here and watch me. And I can't make this shit up. So just remember that this and that are true, and that you are more versatile than you give yourself credit for, and you're magical. I hope this helps, and I'll see you guys next time.